Welcome back to beautiful Woodbine Mohawk Park. It is day 2 of the Rookie Showcase 2025 here on PrimeTime Racing, and a picture-perfect morning here in Campbellville, Ontario. There's a look at the particulars. We're under sunny skies once again, 18 degrees and climbing in Campbellville. Little to no wind, and we're going to be playing on a very fast surface, I am sure, here this morning as the boys take center stage here. 6 more baby race qualifiers here today. Again, day 2 of the Rookie Showcase. Greg Blanchard and Mark McKelvey trackside. We've changed up our location just slightly here today, so nice vantage point to watch the action this morning, and you're going to get a good view of the horses in behind us. Good thing too, the air quality index has improved overnight. Unfortunately, with those wildfires and the poor air quality that came into the area last night, it forced the cancellation of the race program. On that note, though, the eliminations that were scheduled for last night, they'll be carried over here to this evening, or later this afternoon, I should say.
Yeah, essentially an afternoon card, a short card. It'll be 4 races coming up this afternoon here at Woodbine Mohawk Park, starting at 4 p.m. It's the eliminations for the Armbro flight and the good times, and we're lucky that we're able to transition and pivot pretty quickly after a tough night last night where Mother Nature and that air quality that you mentioned, there really just wasn't much we could do. And as we saw across various parts of Ontario, I think I saw somewhere where the air quality yesterday in Toronto was the 2nd worst in the world. I mean, there's not much you can do about that. It's kind of out of the hands of the racetrack and everyone involved, but we'll rebound here today. And like you said, it's much improved and just adds to what was already going to be such a huge night of racing, as you can see there with 6:35. That's the originally scheduled post time for a 13 race card with the NA Cup limbs, but now we'll have a little bit of an appetizer earlier in the day, and wagering is available on those. So it's going to be a good afternoon into the evening here at Mohawk.
Looking forward to that, and as we mentioned, some bonus coverage here today beginning at 4 o'clock with those early eliminations, and kind of cool that we're going to be able to have wagering on those as well. And then the regularly scheduled program will get underway tonight at 6:35 p.m. Pepsi North America Cup Elimination Night. 3 limbs this year. It again came up good as far as numbers are concerned. The quality is incredible. We're going to see a lot of star power on the track here tonight. We'll see some siblings, I'm sure, to some of them here this morning, and some future stars of the sport, as always, on day 2. The boys take center stage here today. Good group overall yesterday. I don't know if there was one particular horse that stood out above the crowd, in my opinion anyway. So we'll look forward to seeing here today. Likely something similar as far as overall time. Not going to be nearly as fast as they're going to be going in a few weeks once they get that racing experience under their belt. But we'll look for those final quarter sprints, and we'll be watching for body language, etc.
Exactly that. And I thought yesterday a couple of the horses that caught our eye the most were the ones that didn't necessarily get to the wire first. They were just really rallying well and turned in some good final quarter speed. I know a couple of the races we were just kind of watching closely at what the timer popped up, and if you go back and look at the results from yesterday, there's some good looking chart lines there for some of these youngsters who you think for some of those that rallied well and came home in 27 and a bit, you wonder what the approach might be next time out, if they start to get a little more aggressive with them, or everybody's got their own tactics. But that being said, you'd have to think there's some pretty happy trainers.
Getting a chance to pay tribute here to our sponsors who make this broadcast possible, and a big thank you to all of them. Some of the biggest breeding farms in the game are part of our sponsorship group of PrimeTime Racing and Terra Hill Stud. We welcome them on board as well, along with Sealster Farms, Windback Farm, Hanover Shoe Farms as well, and Twin Brook Farms from nearby Embro, Ontario, all helping make this Rookie Showcase possible here this morning. And again, it is a beautiful afternoon. Anticipation running high as we get ready for all of those elimination races for some of the biggest stakes events here at Woodbine Mohawk Park later on, both this afternoon and this evening. And to make it a full day lineup here, we've got 6 races coming your way. We'll start with Pacers qualifier number 1, and a good looking field of 7 in here, just dripping with pedigree potential almost top to bottom in this group. Some attractive families when you start to look down through them, and we'll see who emerges here this morning as maybe some of the early standouts in this group.
And that was the one thing I think we were really keeping a close eye on yesterday was the various stallions that were represented throughout the course of the morning. And it was a good variety, and that's the case, again, that we'll get here today. And I think it'll be interesting to see if we see a stallion like yesterday. We saw one by Captain Victoria step up, that one that definitely wouldn't have been on our radar. So maybe there'll be something like that. That being said, in Ontario, there is a name, and not just Ontario, but across the harness racing world that could go down as maybe the greatest stallion ever, and that being Bettor's Delight, who will be represented by a couple in this first qualifier.
And another gentleman who will be busy again this morning, Blake McIntosh, sent out 14 yesterday. I think he's got another 14 today. And boy, the staff will be earning their paychecks this weekend, of course, racing tonight as well. So it's going to be a busy, busy day for that group, but I'm sure they're excited to unveil another group of rookies here this morning. There's the entire field of 7. Speaking of Blake Quickaway, is one of the horses we'll get a look at here from post 6. And talking to him briefly yesterday, co-owner Ozzie McCase here again this morning, and they're quietly excited about this guy. They know, they've been around long enough to know you don't get too high at this stage, but so far so good, and this is one that they're anxious to get underway with here this morning. And
I thought yesterday we had a chance to talk to Blake just after the qualifiers ended and asked what his thought was on the group that he had sent out. And it's funny that there's could have so many horses that go well, but then there's one that sticks out there. He was a little disappointed. That being said, when you're sending out 14 of them, I think if you're getting around 90% you're happy with, I think that's probably a good starting spot.
Yeah, for sure. Doug McNair's all here standing beside us. He's anxious to get going this morning. He's always up bright and early and gets the coffee going. Come on in for a sec, Doug, real quick, if you don't mind. Well, we've got you. Let's chat about, of course, we had a big hockey game last night, another thriller, another overtime.
Come on in there, Doug. Yeah, there you go.
Thriller there. Edmonton, unfortunately, loses last night in double overtime, but you were there for game 1. Tell us what that atmosphere was like out there.
It's just like watching on TV, it's loud and they got actual fans there instead of just the corporate business and stuff like that. But it's a big thrill to be there, and obviously it was a disappointment last night, but it could have went either way. I stayed up and watched the end, and like I said, it could have went either way, and Edmonton can't win them all, so it's going to be a good series.
I think it's probably destined to be a 7-game series, so overtime through 2 games. Just had it in my ear, though. You were wearing a Wayne Gretzky jersey. Did you buy that just for the game, or are you a bandwagoner? Because I thought you were a Leaf fan.
Yeah, I jump from band to band. I've always liked, my dad cheers for Montreal, so I've always had to cheer for Montreal a bit. My mom was a Leaf fan, so I'm mainly a Leaf fan, but obviously Edmonton had Wayne Gretzky when way back in the day, even before I was even born. But now, obviously, Connor McDavid, the greatest player in the sport. So after the races are over, I always get home and try to catch the second or third period. So anytime you get a chance to go and watch him play, it's a big thrill. And yeah, I bought that jersey when I was out there. It was right on sale for $350. So
well, let's talk horses, Doug, quickly here. You got a nice lineup again this morning. Just go back to yesterday. Any in particular that you went with yesterday that really excite you at this point?
It's tough to get, like you said, too excited at this point in time. But I went with a 6-pack for Blake that she did everything perfect and she trotted home pretty good. And I went with a horse of a captain for Rod Boyd that kind of impressed me pretty good. She paced home in 26 and change and seemed pretty professional. And then the rest of them I went with, they did everything right as well. It's nice to see these babies this early, but nowadays they're pretty much like age race horses. They do everything right, touch wood, and they're fun to watch.
And, there'd be a lot of these horses, too, that you'd be familiar with well before yesterday and today, right, that you, I'm sure, do work with in the mornings sessions?
Yeah, mainly I went with a bunch for my old man there down in Florida and stuff, but I really, the ones I went with yesterday, I've never sat behind, so going forward, and the same with today, I've never sat behind any of these colts, so next couple weeks or a month, I'll learn quite a bit about them.
All right, you said you already played 9 holes today?
Yeah, I played 9 holes. The guys were generous, giving me the 8 or 10 foot gimme, so it wasn't a bad round.
It's just going to be a long day, though, isn't it now?
Yeah, it's going to be a long day, but try to map it out, get a little nap right around noon maybe, and get back here for 3 o'clock. So it's should be a fun day.
Any day at the track or the golf course
Absolutely.
is probably a good day.
Couldn't agree more.
Good luck, Dougie.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Doug McNair. We'll let him go as, they'll be coming out here for the first qualifier shortly. And how is his golf game? I'm sure have been
He
out
doesn't
for a
waste
round or
any
two with
time.
that.
You should see him. He doesn't waste any time. He just steps
Okay.
up and hits it. And golf's a mental game, right? So maybe he's got it figured out. Why think about it? Just go and do it.
Yeah, for sure. That's good stuff. And it'll be an exciting time of year for the drivers. This is, like us, we're watching with a lot of anticipation, and they are. And when they see their name listed, there's a little bit of that unknown, and I'm sure they get off the bike after some of these qualifiers, and suddenly their view of the upcoming season maybe changes dramatically if they think they've got one that shows that kind of stakes talent early on.
And I mean, you think about the horses that Doug gets a chance to sit behind each and every year, and those babies, sometimes it's kind of the late bloomers, so to speak. Think of Crackshot last year, who was a grassroots champion, that then, because of a rule change, got to race in the super final last year. And typically you're in one or the other.
Yeah.
Won both of those events. I mean, there's a horse that he was a big ticket, but that being said, when you're in the grassroots, you're probably not dreaming of being a super final champion, and it just shows as the season goes along, some of these horses can really build momentum and just continue to move forward and kind of reach their full potential.
Crackshot, speaking of him, he will be here tonight competing in one of those 3 Pepsi NA Cup eliminations. Co-owner Dale Hunter, and it's been a good run for him, I know. His London Knights won their 3rd Memorial Cup just a week ago. And boy, he will like to keep the good times rolling tonight and get that horse into the final. Heard he won't be able to make it tonight. I think he's got a previous engagement, but if he makes the final, you can bet he will be here with bells on. Who knows? Maybe he'll bring the trophy.
Bring the Memorial Cup, yeah. That's as close as I'm going to get to it anytime soon. But
me too.
The Memorial Cup champion London Knights, and he was here the night the SBOA happened, and they won, and that's probably his confidence level, was that if they had gone a little deeper in their final series in the OHL playoffs, he wouldn't have been able to come to the races, but he didn't have to worry about that. They took care of business, and Crackshot's been a fun horse to watch, and will look to get into the North America Cup final. It's a little light this year. I know the folks at Ontario Racing don't want me to say this, but we're a little light on OSS starters in this year's NA Cup eliminations. I don't think that necessarily means it's not a talented group that we got locally here, but I think it kind of speaks volumes to maybe this is one of those years, and it's been a while where I think the powerhouses are really coming from the U.S. That said, until they all get together, you really don't know. So your horses like Crackshot and Sterling Choice will be waving that OSS banner and trying to get into the final here on home soil.
You're right, and the OSS, it's been proven in recent years that the best in the provincial program often can compete with, and some of them are the very best in North America. Let's talk Chantilly for one. Bulldog Hanover's another one that certainly was. As he got older and it was 4-year-old season, he was the most electrifying pacer in the sport. Very anticipated day here today because we're going to see his first offspring hitting the racetrack in qualifying action today. Excited about that. 3 of them in to go, and interestingly, they're all going to face each other a little bit later on this morning. Redland Rocketman Fly, Bulldog Fly, and Scorpion Sealster all in action there. So early reports, what have you been hearing about them training down?
People have talked very highly of them, and that goes back, I guess, back into deep into the winter. I know we're already now into June, but the reports have been good. It'll be interesting to watch this season because Bulldog Hanover, as we know, at the end of his 3-year-old season, he did a little bit of double duty there going into his 4-year-old season, which is where he really broke out and became this world champion. So you kind of wonder the type of mares that he got that first year compared to this year when we get to the yearling sales in the fall. You're going to see Bulldog Hanover, some sons and daughters selling out of some real talented mares, some of the biggest and top brood mares in the game. So this group, though, we'll see if they kind of have some resemblance in some of his traits and they can bring it out to the track. He was just such a treat to watch. It's too bad it didn't last longer, Greg, because like I said, at the end of his 3-year-old season, he was a very good horse, and we all knew his name, at least if you were a pretty hardcore racing fan. it didn't matter if you were a typical, just a casual harness racing fan. If you only watched the thoroughbreds, everybody knew Bulldog Hanover by the end of the year. That's just kind of the ride he took everyone on in his 4-year-old season.
Yeah, he elevated the stature of the game there during that season. Kind of reminded you back in the Sun Beach Somewhere days in terms of how much overall buzz and interest the horse generated, particularly in Canada, but really on both sides of the border. So let's turn our attention here as the Pacing Colts and Geldings make their way to the track for qualifier number 1. Look at Jerry Sims there as he gets ready with his single entrant here this morning. His name's Dancing in the Dark. He's a Dancing Lou colt out of a Better's Delight mare. This one's a sibling to a $100,000 winner called Newscaster, and a full sibling as well to one called T.H. Rita Lou, just young into that one's career, but showing some potential as well. Just 9 starts and 3 wins, 3 runner-up finishes for that one. So the mare from limited number of offspring has been a pretty good producer so far. This one, a $25,000 purchase out of the London Classic yearling sale. It's going to get Scott Young in the driver's seat.
And Dancing Lou, of course, last season, his first crop hit the track, and he had Stonebridge Wizard, who was one of the standouts in that 2-year-old Pacing Colt group here locally, and he went 5 for 10, 5 for 9 last year. He's had just a 1 start this season, but he's made over $250,000 and has performed well from that first crop at Dancing Lou.
There's a look at Dancing in the Dark, the aforementioned horse that we spoke of. We've got a driver change. Bob McClure, in fact, will be driving number 3, Unforgiven, for Jeff Williams. So again, McClure on the 3 in this field of 7. Qualifier number 1, there's T.H. bought and paid for. Cattle Wash Colt, 1 of 2 from the Blake McIntosh barn in here. Bred, of course, by Terra Hill Stud of Port Perry, and Glenn Bechtel, along with Matthew Harrison and Nora Heffering, all part of the breeders group on this one. Cattle Wash out of Allow Me Hanover. This one a sister to a good one, Ericash Hanover, a winner of $1.7 million, and the $650,000 winner Lions Schneider. You know, this mare certainly has a tremendous pedigree in her bloodlines, and teams up, or was mated with Cattle Wash for this one. T.H. bought and paid for, I think, is an intriguing proposition here in qualifier 1.
Yeah, and then we look at the horses here when the yearling prices pop up, and if you're following along through Standard Break Canada, you'll see them on their tracket pages. They've got the conversion now with the U.S. and Canadian dollar. The biggest ticket in this field, though, is Going for Broke, the number 1, who will go for Paul and Nicole Davies. This one was a $42,000 Lexington Select by a Better's Delight. Can't really go wrong with those Better's Delights, as we talked about, and again, could go down as one of the greatest stallions of all time, and one that's got some, if you go through the bloodlines here, plenty of some local horses, or ones that we do remember from racing here, some hard hitters that did pretty well, your Mock and Hopes, your Hope for Patty. So here's one for Davies that I think each year they kind of debut a colt that can usually hang and shows plenty of ability.
Yep, and Mock and Hope, of course, was a real top mare. She earned over $700,000 on the racetrack during her career, and kind of did it the hard way. Outside of the gate, Star Bright Dancer, the 7, an Art Speak colt, 3rd foal from the artistic fellow mare Thorn Sealster. It's been a pretty good producer as well. This one, a sibling to Starlight Dancer, closing in at $200,000 in earnings. Rod Boyd's going to train that one. Tyler Borth picking up the drive. Getting another look at the 5, T.H. bought and paid for. Nice sized individual. Talk about what you've seen from the Cattle Washes so far. A full crop that dominated New Jersey last year. From the ones you've seen so far, find he's kind of stamping them in a certain way?
Yeah, I mean, the one last year I remember from his group in New Jersey, Reckless Abandon. She was the New Jersey Sire winner, and I thought she was just kind of a high-speed filly that I think she took a mark in almost 50 there last year, and just looked pretty powerful. So we're curious to see how that transitions here. It's maybe going to be tough to tell because of the different types of mares they were getting, and I think here in Ontario he's going to have a chance to really get himself known. But yesterday thought they showed pretty well, and we'll see here today what the Colts can bring to the table.
Just a moment ago, had a look at number 6, Quick Away. We talked about him briefly a while back. The mare has produced a good one called Beantown Babe, a $250,000 winner. This guy, $30,000 Lexington yearly purchase. And I like the look of him on screen. It's a pretty good sized, big, strong, powerful looking son of American Ideal, who they say has been training down well in preparation. This is your first field of 7, taking up position for qualifier number 1 of the Rookie Showcase on this Saturday morning. Mark will have the call next.
The horses for the first qualifier lining up as we kick off today's baby race session with a field of 7 2-year-old pacing colts and geldings. First of 6 here today. Number 1 going for broke is a Better's Delight colt. Was a $42,000 Lexington selected yearling sale purchase. The 2 is Always Too Hot and Always a Virgin colt. This one is a graduate of the Harrisburg sale at $15,000 US. The 3 is Unforgiven, a gelded son of Better's Delight. Number 4, Dancin' in the Dark, a Dancin' Lou colt, a $25,000 London Classic purchase. 5 is TH, bought and paid for. This is a cattle wash colt who was a Harrisburg graduate, $18,000 US. 6 is Quick Away, American Ideal colt. This one was a graduate of the Lexington Select sale, $30,000 US. And number 7 is Starbright, a Dancer. And this is a homebred Art Speak colt. Starting it to the top of the stretch, here they come for the first. And they're off and pacing, and it's a pretty even beginning across the board here, as now we'll see a couple of them driving ahead in TH Bought and Paid For and Quick Away. Those 2 are going out to the early lead, as it'll be Unforgiven moving up into 3rd. Going for broke at the rail gets away in 4th. Always Too Hot will then race into 5th, followed by Dancin' in the Dark, and Starbright Dancer is at the rear of the field, coming to the opening quarter, and it's Quick Away who makes it out to the lead. Quick Away is going to take them past the opening marker, leading it by a little more than 2 lengths. So it's Quick Away up front in control. The opening quarter was 29-2. They straighten into the backstretch, and Quick Away has a 4-length advantage here and is just cruising along in the second split. Racing in second is TH Bought and Paid For. Unforgiven is then in 3rd. Going for broke is 2.5 lengths off that rival in 4th. Always Too Hot is racing in 5th. Dancin' in the Dark is 6th, and then it's 2 lengths back to Starbright Dancer. That's how they're set up as they head up to the midway point, and it is still Quick Away, the son of American Ideal, who shows the way. They were by the half in 58-1, and they're on to the far turn. 59-1 was the half-mile time, and going into that far turn, it's a 4-length lead here for Quick Away. So Quick Away, who is just continuing to motor along. Back in second, TH Bought and Paid For. That one about to be surpassed as it's Unforgiven moving to the outside. That provides a little bit of cover here now for going for broke. Then to Always Too Hot, followed then by Dancin' in the Dark, and then to the back, Unforgiven. 3/4 time is hit in 1:28.3, and they're into the stretch. It is Quick Away who is trying to go the distance now. Going for broke is in second. Always Too Hot behind that one, as there's less than 1/8 of a mile to go. Quick Away's got to try and close this out now into the final 16th. Going for broke's on the outside, trying to get a little closer, almost to the wheel, but it is Quick Away who will win it by a length. Finishing in second was Going for Broke. Third was Always Too Hot, and then on the outside, up for fourth, that was Starbright Dancer. The final time was 1:56 flat for Quick Away.
Fastest qualifier we have seen so far through yesterday and this morning, 1:56.27 and 2. Quick final quarter speed. Compliments of Quick Away, aptly named, it appears at this point. Son of American Ideal, looking good right on the engine here for driver James McDonald, off a 59-1 halftime, 56-4 final half speed for this guy. Turns back Going for Broke, who looked very good in finishing second as well. I thought, was lapped on the winner and closed right up with him. Always Too Hot, not far off in finishing third. And that one a son of Always a Virgin. Nice looking group to kick us off here this morning. Again, Quick Away, son of a American Ideal, a sibling to one called Beantown Babe, a winner of $250,000. That one sired by Boston Red Rocks. So the dam here mated with the great American Ideal, and appears to have clicked with one that's Going to make some type of a stakes performer, but I think the aspirations, Mark, are going to be high, at least initially.
I would have to think so. I mean, the way that guy was able to just get off the wings and get right out to the lead. And the one thing I'm looking for here today, it's a pretty bright morning here, Greg, and I think sometimes in the past those shadows in the first turn have been something that you can always tell the drivers are keeping a bit of an eye on to hope that their horses can navigate by that with no problem. I thought this guy just pretty professional how he gets out there to the top and then finishes it off with what did we get, 27 and 2 home? Is that the final quarter there? It was 28 and 3, 56 flat.
27 and 2, 56 and 4 on the end of it as well. Looked good, and you know, I don't think they were asking him to go any faster than he kind of wanted to. I think they kind of let him do it on his own. The runner-up was I thought, you know, sort of equally as impressive. Finished right up with him in that final quarter sprint, which is what you would have expected. So, yeah, again, in talking to the connections, you know, you can kind of tell that the ones that it brings a smile to their face when they're talking about him, and this is one that certainly did that, and we're going to see why here. And there he is too. Just as far as an individual, he looks the part too. That was pretty effortless looking, in my opinion.
That's what I thought too, right? And even though there might be one on the outside kind of getting up to him, they're up front just doing their thing. And like you said, 56 is probably perfect, right in the ballpark of what you'd like to see. At least the connections would have thought, and gets the job done in our first qualifier.
Let's take our first commercial break of the morning, and we will be back with more of the Rookie Showcase from Woodbine Mohawk Park.
Harness Racing Update covers the sport from all the angles, with news, opinion, features, photography, and the most comprehensive racing, breeding, and sales stories in the game from around the globe. It's all delivered by a deep, diverse, and talented team of writers and photographers. Plus, HRU's popular Twos in Training series on YouTube gives you the first look at the stars of tomorrow. And the best news, it's all free. Subscribe to HRU today for free at harnessracingupdate.com.
All sports dynasties share one thing.
Home run! Another world championship!
They dominate. Hanover Shoe Farms, the most successful breeder of Hambletonian champions, producing an impressive total of 11 winners, has dominated the race. Purchase Hanover yearlings at Harrisburg. Hanover Shoe Farms, a standard bred dynasty.
It doesn't get any better than that! Wow!
And welcome back. And there's a look at the, is it the Windback Winners Enclosure here at Woodbine Mohawk Park?
It is, yes, the Windback Farms Winter Circle, and that's been a good partnership with Woodbine over the last several years, and continues into this 2025 season and the stakes season that is coming up here and really ramping up, including this weekend.
A guy that's always prominent on these mornings, Carl Jamieson, over the years. You know, this is something we've been used to seeing, and he'll unveil a quartet of starters here today, including one that we're going to see here in the this opening contest for the Trotters, his name Hand in the Cookie Jar. A little bit later, he'll have a cattle wash offspring called Till the Cows Come Home. Beachside Lindy, a tall, dark stranger, and then he's got an American Ideal named Rough Deal to wrap things up here this morning. So it looks like he's got another good group coming forward this year, and he's had some real success the last couple of seasons on the stake side again.
Yeah, certainly has, and I look back to last year at this time of the year, and you saw the debuts of a horse like 5th and 5, who went on to make a good chunk of money last year in the OSS ranks. THKC Crunch is one that they're going to race in tonight's Pepsi North America Cup eliminations, and there's another one that was ready to go pretty early on last year in June. And then that's not to mention, over the last couple of years, they've debuted some babies that have drawn the attention of stateside interest that they've then been able to work out a deal for a private sale. So each and every year they've got them coming to the track ready to go. I still think there is something to the fact, though, like a horse like THKC Crunch, who might have been in the first week, but I think he was in definitely the second week of baby races, and here he is a year later in that Grand Circuit level. So I think for them it just shows why Carl Jamieson, Team Jamieson, Carl Hall of Famer, Jody a future Hall of Famer, right? That's kind of what it speaks to.
Speaking of selling horses, Amazing Catch kind of made headlines last year when he went through the sales ring. We've got a brother to that one here, a Walner colt named You Can Dream, full brother, in fact, post 3-starter in here. Certainly going to be some eyeballs on this one this morning.
Yeah, I mean, what was the price tag eventually when Amazing Catch sold there?
1.8.
Yeah, so you've got a brother here sitting coming into this group. That's something to definitely get you excited about to watch. And again, there's always a little bit, I guess, pressure, certainly when you talk about those siblings when they come in and living up to the expectations that big brother or big sister have set out on the racetrack.
The one in this field is called Lifting Legend. Dominic Ledoux will train this one. A muscle mass, one of, let's see, three muscle mass in this group. This one a sibling to 6 winners of $150,000 plus. The mare Celebrity Angel, an excellent producer. This one is a sibling. One of those offspring was Will Take Charge, and he banked $1.3 million in his racing career. So, they do a good job, the stable, of identifying these ones that, at least on paper, appear to be potential bargains. And this one was a $17,000 Lexington purchase, and again has the family potential to be almost anything.
And that's the one thing I've noticed over the last couple of years with some of those horses that they have been able to purchase is that you look on the page and there's something that will pop out to you when you're at the sale of something in the family that has been a top performer or at least been a bit of a standout, and you're wondering why are they slipping through the cracks? Why are they maybe getting it for not that big price tag? And in this case, like you said, under $20,000. And there can be reasons. Sometimes horses just don't necessarily, when you look at them, there could be something a little off, and maybe they don't check out the way that everyone else is hoping for. But they'll take those chances on those horses, and sometimes if it's in the blood, it just kind of comes out no matter what, even if they've got something that they have to overcome.
That's right. And the Green Energy number 4 has a pretty famous sibling as well. This one is a brother to What the Hill, the horse that, in fact, crossed the wire first in the Hambletonian that year, but we all know was disqualified in dramatic fashion from that. Did bounce back, though, to win the Canadian Trotting Classic and a winner of $1.3 million over the course of his career. And this one, a son of Green Manalishi, one of 2 that we're going to see in the field here, and one of 3 sent out by trainer McIntosh in this spot as well. We talked about Hand in the Cookie Jar, the 5 from the Jameson camp. This one, a Harrisburg yearling purchase. Muscle Mass here, and this is a sibling to Dashing Muscle, who's been a good one, a winner of more than $300,000 in his career. And I like the name, too. Hand in the Cookie Jar. It's a good
You ever
one.
got caught with your hand in the cookie jar? Are you trying to, they have to put it on the high
I'm sure
shelf
I have
to make sure?
at some point.
It's a good name. I like it. Don't want to waste a good name either. I always say that. Sometimes there's some great names we see here these first few weeks and then never hear of them again, right? So I hope that's not the case for some of them because, you ever really seen a great horse that had a bad name? If you did some thinking, I'm sure you could come up with
I'm
one.
sure,
but they always usually have good
Yeah,
names.
yeah, you're right.
The greats do.
You're right. Yep. When you think about it. So we'll see. Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on that. We're certainly anxious to see this group go to the gate here. We were getting word. Was there potentially a scratch in there that we missed?
Yeah, number 6 I think is out. That was
Okay.
I Am, the Readily Express colt. Not today for him.
All right, so the starting gate rolling, reduced to a field of 6. Our first look at the male trotters this morning, race number 2 of our rookie showcase from Woodbine Mohawk Park. And here's Mark with the description.
Starting gate is rolling. Second qualifier as we'll take out number 6 I Am, brings us down to a field of 6 2-year-old Colton gelding trotters. The number 1 is Lifting Legend. That is a gelded son of Muscle Mass. Lifting Legend was a $17,000 Lexington selected yearling sale purchase. The number 2 is Northern Genius. This is a son of Muscle Mass. This colt is a homebred for Northfields Farm. Number 3 in this group is You Can Dream. This is a Walner colt. You Can Dream. The son of Walner coming out of the Lexington Select sale. A $30,000 graduate of that yearling event. Then we got Green Energy, a Green Manalishi colt, as that is a son of Green Manalishi, as mentioned, $56,000. 5 is Hands in the Cookie Jar, gelded son of Muscle Mass, $72,000 yearling. 6 is out and 7 is Rolling in the Green, a Green Manalishi, a $5,000 yearling. And here we go for our second qualifier on this Saturday morning from Woodbine Mohawk Park. And they're off and trotting. It's Northern Genius out from post 2. Off stride goes Hand in the Cookie Jar. Meanwhile, stepping forward to early command will be Green Energy. So as they come out of the way there, it's going to be Green Energy making it to the front. Northern Genius getting away in second. Lifting Legend is then in third. As they drive into that first bend, it'll be You Can Dream racing in fourth, followed then by Rolling in the Green. Resetting was Hand in the Cookie Jar after that early miscue. To the opening panel they go. They were by that station and leading the charge as they come up into the backstretch off that 32-second opener. It's going to be Green Energy. Green Energy is the son of Green Manalishi out in front by a length and a half. Northern Genius just behind that one. They're pretty tightly packed here up front, as racing in third is Lifting Legend. Fourth is You Can Dream. Then in fifth, that is Rolling in the Green. And racing sixth is Hand in the Cookie Jar. We're going to get a lead change now. Looping around to command will be Northern Genius. So Northern Genius coming around to grab the lead as they come to the midway point, looking to cross over in front of that rival as they were by the half. Hit the half in 104 and 2, and the leader now is Northern Genius. So that one takes over. Again, it's about 8 lengths separating them front to back. Northern Genius, the Muscle Mass Colt, leads it. Second is Green Energy. Right behind that one in third is Lifting Legend. Then at the inside, fourth is You Can Dream, followed in fifth by Rolling in Green. And the trailer as they go around the far bend, that is Hand in the Cookie Jar. And here we go once again, looking for the retake to the top. That's going to be Green Energy. So that one grabs the lead off 3/4 in a time of 1:35 and 3. They're into the stretch. So Green Energy for the second time has the lead, and Green Energy tries to get away from Northern Genius, who's in behind. Lifting Legend is coming up on the outside. Less than an 8 to go. It's still Green Energy. Lifting Legend is up to the wheel. Northern Genius in behind in third. You Can Dream is in fourth. Green Energy trying to hold Lifting Legend off. Lifting Legend gets up to take it. It was Lifting Legend from Green Energy, then Northern Genius and You Can Dream. The final time was 2:04 and 2.
Nice final quarter rally for Lifting Legend. It gets up to win it here. Kind of a measured win, I thought, from James McDonald. I think he knew the whole length of the stretch that his horse might be able to reach for the win in that qualifying effort. 28 and 4 final quarter speed. Green Energy, good effort as well. Twice used early in that one. So from an experience standpoint, Green Energy will take a lot away from there. Was again, left, showed early speed, was able to rate, let another one go, come back around, and then a little bit of a stretch tussle as well.
Yeah, I thought Lifting Legend, like you said, it isn't necessarily like James is going to the well on him there, but just a little bit of encouragement and to your point, kind of a measured victory to get on up and to get by Green Energy in those final few steps, who, like you said, certainly gets quite the experience here today in this first time out. And I thought they looked all right. These trotters weren't necessarily putting up the biggest of fractions, and like we talked about, and I mentioned it in the call, they were probably as tightly packed as we've seen a group over the last 2 mornings, where they were sitting single file, almost nose to helmet. So for a lot of them, getting experience to get right in there in this first tour in a qualifying event.
2:04 and 2, the overall win time. I don't read a whole lot into that. I just like I like the way the horse did it, and the muscle mass, and muscle mass stamps his individuals. You see the white there. They're generally a thicker, more robust animal, and a lot of them travel a certain way, and he's really got the muscle mass stamp. I think when you see him go, that you would, and you had to take a guess, you would know that was a muscle mass. But yeah, it looks like a good one, and I think the mare's going to click again with another one that's going to be some kind of a good race horse, and maybe even some stakes potential.
Sure, could be that the case here for Lifting Legend. And for the stable, they obviously each and every year start with quite a number of babies, and in the last couple of years, most of that focus has been in the United States, at least in the case of breaking them down and getting them ready for the races. But they leave a bit of a group, a smaller group up here in Ontario now through the winter. This would be part of it in Lifting Legend, and they have to be happy about the way that the local babies have been showing over the last 2 mornings.
And for the most part, all very professional again. one breaker at the start, hand in the cookie jar, but it was a quick break. He reset almost immediately, got back into the race, and from there on was smooth sailing. So they'll go another time or two, I'm sure, with that one. Well, they'll have to, I guess, and you know, you certainly don't get too discouraged, based on one race. That's why they go 2 or 3 times. It's going to take these guys. These are babies, and it's a totally new experience. Even watching some warm up earlier today, we saw that some are spooking from different things or whatever, and the experience of being here in the morning, going through the entire process, will pay dividends down the road for these ones. So. There's a look at the connections from qualifier number 2 back into the paddock. They'll hook up and get ready to go for the third, and we'll have it next when we continue our coverage from Woodbine Mohawk Park.
Winback Farm of Ontario is home to outstanding sires, including 3-time millionaire pacer tattoo artist who is new in 2025, the last great son of the legendary Some Beach Somewhere and multiple stakes champion Beachglass, Meadowlands Pace and Ontario Sire Stakes champion Lawless Shadow, and the richest pacing stallion in all of harness racing history, the great Hall of Famer Mick Wicked. Also standing at Winback Farm, Archangel, Better Than Cheddar, Betting Line, My MVP, and Trixton. For more information, visit winbackfarm.com.
Preferred Equine Online has proven time and time again to be the industry's online provider, selling the highest priced horses in all categories online, including racehorses, broodmares, yearlings, weanlings, and stallion shares. Full service, trusted and transparent. Contact Preferred for your online sales needs at www.preferredequineonline.com or call 914-773-7777.
And welcome back, getting set for the third qualifier of the morning. We switch gears. We're back on the pace for this one. We're going to bring in another gentleman that's here this morning, taking in the action. We see him from time to time. It gets up to Ontario maybe once a year. Our good buddy Ozzie McKay's got a bunch qualified yesterday and again this morning. Of course, you're excited tonight, Ozzie, for Sterling Choice and the Pepsi NA Cup eliminations. But just a thought on Quickaway, who we saw earlier this morning. I know you were quite excited when you were talking about him yesterday, and everything good this morning with him?
I think so. From what I've heard, James was happy with him, Blake was happy, and Sally was happy, and Linda was happy. So I guess we're all happy.
I think it sounds like that if everybody's got some smiles on their faces.
That's the main thing today.
But talk about this guy, because I think a 56 mile, that's ready to go. But that was kind of the expectation, wasn't it, that he would be ready to go here today?
Well, you know what? Those kind of things I leave to Blake. He's done a great job, him and his team, with these horses. I mean, when we go to the sales in Lexington and Harrisburg and those places and walk around, and we normally don't buy the highest priced ones in the sale, I'll put it that way. And the job that he does year in and year out with some of these horses is fantastic. Hats off big time to the staff and the people that he works with every day. Because I'll tell you, even this past weekend, right? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, here today, racing tonight, detention, everything else has just been fantastic.
Yeah, and you started, you kind of dabbled, with in the ownership group with Blake. I think you bought into 1 or 2 initially. How many do you have there now?
13. Is there a crazy written across the forehead, Greg, or what?
But you're having a lot of fun.
Always having fun. Always having fun. Yeah.
And that's really the name of the game. Speaking of that, in Truro tonight, what will the atmosphere be like tonight, of course, with the eliminations and Sterling Choice in there, and if he were to qualify and make that final next week?
Well, that's a great question, but I'll put it this way. The week before when he won his gold, there was probably 15, 16 of us watching the race, and all I could say was my dad was screaming as loud as he possibly could. Everybody was kind of sitting there laughing at him and pointing at him, and he was beating the table, and my sister was grabbing me by the neck, and it was let's just say we're probably going to be a few more people screaming tonight.
And Emmons helped develop him in Truro, right? And I think did he have quick away again this year during the winter?
Yes, he did, yeah. And then Dad jogged him, trained him down, probably about 35 or so. And then after that, we sent him up a little earlier than we normally do, up to Blake. And then Blake's finished him off and done a great job.
Fantastic. And I think for you guys here this morning, this has been even yesterday morning, I know you were hanging around here. This has got to be the part of the year that you're just kind of waiting for. You got to have this weekend kind of circled, don't you?
I think this is the weekend when your Melvin Herbie say there in the past was you either keep rolling on or they go to the shitter. And guess what? So far, everything's been pretty good. We've been pretty happy with everything that's been happening.
Still rolling on. There you go.
Good stuff, Oz. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of your morning.
Absolutely.
And your friend Don McNeil from PEI, I know he messaged and he said, go in there and get a breakfast sandwich before you leave. Good stuff. So here we go. We're getting set for qualifier number 3 back on the pace here, field of 7. Some nice looking individuals in here. We've got a tall, dark stranger colt named Solidarity that could be interesting here. Same connections that we saw click in qualifier number 2 have this one, a tall, dark stranger. This is a regal mating that Nancy Tactor would enjoy watching qualify here this morning. She, of course, campaigned the great tall dark stranger, the 2020 NA Cup winner, and the mare Kissin' in the Sand, who is a great one, $1.8 million during her brilliant career. You know, I was looking back at her. Amazing. She won her last 7 starts. Check out this list of races she won. She won the Milton, sweep of the Elim and Vinyl, the Dayton Distaff, the All-Reg Farms, Breeders' Crown, and then the TVG. It's a nice run to end your career.
Going out in style, to say the least. Any of those victories would be a nice feather in your cap. But Kissin' in the Sand was one of those standout pacing mares, and you talk about campaigned by Team Tactor. And this is one that the stable purchased at the Lexington sale for $72,000, which is one, again, that we were talking about that you might have thought the ticket would have been a little bit higher. And I think for them, it's certainly worth getting in on a horse like this because of the fact that you're getting from, this champion to champion. I mean, this is just a great opportunity for them here.
Yep, that's the type that they are always looking for, those maybe ones that just kind of fall through the crack for whatever reason. And we will see. They had a winner in qualifier 2. They've got Solidarity here in a good-looking field of 7 for qualifier number 3. We're back on the pace. Back over to Mark.
The field of 7 lining up, 3rd qualifier today. Here is the field. Number 1 is Mountain Dancer. This is a cattle wash colt. Number 2, Solidarity, a $72,000 Lexington Select yearling sale purchase. This is a tall, dark stranger colt. The 3 is West Coast Dreamin'. This is a gelded son of Better's Delight. The number 4, Till the Cows Come Home. This is a cattle wash colt, a Lexington Select grad, $70,000 US. The number 5 is PL Taco, a cattle wash colt. 6 is Lunar Sport. This is a son of Sports Writer. This colt is a graduate of the London Classic sale, $13,000. And 7 is Captain Commando. This is a Captain Treacherous colt. This one out of the Blooded Horse sale for $9,000 US. Starting gate nears the top of the stretch, a field of 7. Today's 3rd qualifier as the 2-year-old pacing colts and geldings are lined up, set to go. And they're off and pacing here in the 3rd qualifier and coming away well through the middle. That's going to be Till the Cows Come Home, and that one is out to the early lead. Mountain Dancer is at the inside, holding ground in 2nd. Solidarity lines up into 3rd. Here comes Lunar Sport up on the outside. This one's going into the forward mix. Then we're back to West Coast Dreamin'. Captain Commando will get ahead of spot in front of PL Taco. They set up into the first turn Until the Cows Come Home is out to a lead of 3 coming to the opening quarter. Till the Cows Come Home by that opening quarter in 30 seconds flat. Mountain Dancer is in 2nd. Lunar Sport, as mentioned, flashed some early speed and was able to land in 3rd. Solidarity is 2 lengths off that one in 4th. West Coast Dreamin' is racing in 5th. Captain Commando is 6th. And PL Taco is about 15 from the lead. That one is racing 7th as we've got a loosely leader up front until the cows come home as Jamison rolls this one out to the top, leads it by 4 coming up to the half. Mountain Dancer still there in second, while Lunar Sport races in third. Solidarity is in fourth. They were by the half in a time of 1 minute and 3/5, 30-3 in the second quarter. It's still a leader of Till the Cows Come Home. Till the Cows Come Home from Mountain Dancer in second. Lunar Sport 2 lengths behind that one third. Solidarity's following pretty closely there in fourth. West Coast Dreamin' is spotted in fifth. Captain Commando right behind that one sixth. And then it's a few lengths going back to the trailer as they go to 3/4. PL Taco rounds things out. Till the Cows Come Home has been chopping it out here. Shows the way by 3/4. A 2.5 length advantage. 1:30-4, 30-1 in the third split. And they're into the stretch. Till the Cows Come Home trying to go coast to coast. Mountain Dancer has been second throughout. Here's Lunar Sport angling to the outside. Solidarity to follow that path in fourth. It's still Till the Cows Come Home, who's got 3 or so lengths on them. Lunar Sport coming on late. Till the Cows Come Home nearly home. Lunar Sport is closing late, but not going to get there. They'll come up about a half length short. Till the Cows Come Home wins it. Lunar Sport was second. Then it was Solidarity in third. Mountain Dancer was fourth. Till the Cows Come Home. The Son of Cattle Wash takes qualifier number 3 in a time of 1:58-2.
Another nice finish there in qualifier number 3. This time it's Till the Cows Come Home put on the front, and we'll take it all the way. A diminishing margin, but that's because they were all sprinting the top 3 in that final quarter. And there it is, the Son of Cattle Wash, sibling to $500,000 winner Beach Boogie holding on. Charging Adam late was Lunar Sport to bargain basement. Sports Writer Colt, $13,000 out of the London sale for Blake McIntosh. Blake, of course, a bit of a soft spot for sports writers, and it looks like he's got another good one on his hands here. And Solidarity, like the way this one finished up under absolutely no urging, right there with the top 2 in that 27 and change final quarter.
Yeah, lots to like from that group, I thought, and for Lunar Sport, especially in the opening 1/8 of the mile there, that was one that I thought was just going to sort of line up like some of the others were doing, but Doug decided just to get a little bit out of that one and let him sort of stride ahead and dropped him in third, and then ended up being sitting right behind Mountain Dancer and coming on by that one late and getting pretty close at the wire. A good final quarter from that Sports Writer Colt, but it's Jody Jamison having a pretty good go here. He's got to be really happy with yesterday and today so far going with these babies. Here's another one, and again, Cattle Wash that performs well here as a horse that brought over $70,000 US as a yearling, until the Cows Come Home gets a mark of 58-2 in his first qualifier.
Has a nice bunch to start the season with, does Jody. There's a look at Double J coming back with this one. Cattle Wash, another one that I feel like from what I've seen kind of stamps his horses. They're a lot of them are tall, like kind of big on the bigger side, tall horses with big, long, striding types, and there was Lunar Sport, kind of had the sports rider look, a little bit smaller, more compact, but a real nice engine in him. So real intriguing group there, and it's going to be fun to watch them now. Next week and going forward. How do they progress from here? So much can change in 1, 2, 3 weeks at this point.
Certainly can, and I give a shout out to our crew because that tight shot as they're coming down to the wire, you really saw what you talked about in that height, kind of the size of the Cattle Wash, and then the Sports Writer Colt, who was just kind of coming in there and just kind of nose to the grind, kind of coming in after that one. It certainly stood out well in that shot as we had them coming down to the wire.
And Solidarity, body language, this is what we're really looking closely at today. I loved what I saw from that one. I think the stable might have another good one on their hands there. So there they are, making their way back after qualifier number 3. We're halfway home on this Saturday morning, day 2 of our rookie showcase for 2025. Another group of pacers on deck when we return.
The London Classic Yearling Sale, Canada's premier standardbred auction, returns this October to the Western Fair District Agriplex. The nation's leading consigners choose the London Classic, offering hundreds of yearlings by many of the sport's leading sires, all under one roof at one of North America's best venues. Recent sale graduates include Canada's Rookie Pacing Colt of the Year, Stonebridge Wizard, O'Brien Award finalist Paquette, and O'Brien Award winning double millionaire Logan Park. The London Classic Yearling Sale, where your dollar goes further and where champions are found. Find out more at londonclassic.ca.
Sealster, a name synonymous with quality. From their picturesque farm in Lucan, Ontario, Sealster Farms has been producing champions for decades. Stars like $650,000 winner Poseidon Sealster, millionaire mares Karma and Kendall Sealster, and two-time O'Brien Award-winning Stockade Sealster. Sealster is also the home to many of Canada's top stallions, including Big Jim, Century Pharaoh, Looks Like a Chippendale, Sunshine Beach, All Bets Off, and world champion Bulldog Hanover, the sport's all-time fastest performer. Find your next champion at Sealster Farms. For more information, visit sealsterfarms.com.
Welcoming you back. Hope everyone's enjoying the coverage so far this morning. A beautiful morning here in Campbellville, Ontario. Again, yesterday the air quality index unfortunately got to a point where it's going to be a little bit dangerous to race. Thoroughbreds canceled in the afternoon, and last evening racing was canceled. So the elimination scheduled for last night, again, they're happening today at 4 o'clock, and they will be wagering events prior to the regular scheduled program later, but no such issues here today, and it is a beautiful one, as you can see. Under sunny skies, temperature continues to climb, and the highly anticipated debut for the offspring of Bulldog Hanover. It's finally here, the long wait, as they say, for those who were excited to see his horses hit the racetrack, and he's got 3 of them all in action head-to-head here in this bulky field of 8 for qualifier number 4.
What I really like here is of the 3 Bulldogs, we got 3 different trainers. So you want to talk about perspective and opinions and what they've seen so far from their Bulldogs. You can get a nice little compilation, I guess, as you don't have to necessarily go to just the same barn to get some feedback, as John Pentland's got one that'll come out here, Blake McIntosh, and so too does Dave Maneri. So excited to see the debut here of the Bulldog Hanovers. And
John was featured recently on the Twos and Training, Harness Racing Updates Twos and Training video, and touched on Redland Rocket Man, and had good reports for this one training down. So he arrives today. This one bred by the Redland Farms of Bible Hill, Nova Scotia. Fly Bulldog Fly, the second one in the field here. This one was bred by Daryl Kaplan along with Royce Broxton, Harbhajan Singh, Dylan, and that ownership group bred this one. This one a sibling to 5th and 5, a top Ontario sired performer. And then there's Scorpion Sealster from Sealster Farms, and this one's got a pretty famous group of siblings as well, including Stockade Sealster, Sorsha, and Shanghai Sealster. So the mare Soiree Sealster has been an excellent producer, and this Bulldog Hanover colt, he was a day one Lexington horse last year, sold for $95,000 US, and Dave Maneri will unveil this one here this morning. So an intriguing group. Those watching in today, we've got viewers all over North America and worldwide, in fact, on our various platforms. Welcoming all of you. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. Wherever you're watching today, let us know. Drop us a comment. We love to hear where people are tuning in from here this morning, as a lot of eyes of the racing world are on this qualifier again with the debut of the Bulldog Hanovers in here. Got a couple of more cattle washes that we'll see. Another Tall Dark Stranger into the mix, and Stay Hungry as well in Hangry Boy, another one for Team McIntosh.
Yeah, so we got a nice little mix here outside of the Bulldog Hanovers, and to point out, as you were talking about some of those Bulldogs and who they were bred by and things like that, how about the folks that went to Bulldog Hanover, right, when he was going to do that double duty for this first group, and still he wasn't the world champion Bulldog Hanover yet. He was a really good Bulldog Hanover. This was before he became that champion, that Hall of Famer that he will be. So you could get rewarded for taking that chance and seeing an opportunity.
That's what they're hoping for, right?
Yeah.
They're hoping that they got a bargain in going to him. Prior to that, of course, his stud fee has gone up a little bit,
just a bit,
and understandably so. after that incredible 4-year-old season on the racetrack, and really showed what he was at that point in time. And the reports, in training down have, for the most part, been quite positive. So it's going to be interesting to see. And then you have to think if he has some luck this year on the racetrack, Mark, then next year, who knows? Because the group of mares that he was bred to first full season at Sealster was incredible.
That's what I'm saying, right? I mean, you talk about Scorpion Sealster, the 8 here, being a Night 1 Lexington Select sale horse that was put through there last fall. How many Night 1 Bulldogs could there be this year, right? And it probably should just skyrocket again with some of the quality of the mares that he got this time around.
And, for a farm like Sealster, how exciting is it for them to be watching here this morning? To stand a horse of his stature is incredible. They've had so many great stallions. Of course, Cam Luck was the was the poster boy for their operation for so long, and they've got so many really nice stallions on the roster now. But they're obviously hoping that Bulldog is going to be what everybody thinks he could be on the stallion side. Let's talk about some other ones though in here, Mark. This is a nice looking group. Twin B Cabo, number 3 in the field. Paul and Jamie Cameron own this one, bred by Jenna McNiven of Embro of Twin Brook Farms. And Jenna, we talk about someone that does an amazing job with the horses and their operation. Jenna and the team over there at Twin Brook, when they arrive to the yearling sale with their horses, they come off the trailer. They catch your eye.
Certainly, and this Cattle Wash son comes out of that first dam, Beautiful Liz, who's already had 2 winners from 2 foals. So they've been producing winners and hoping Twin B Cabo can follow in the footsteps.
Yeah, Twin B Bodacious, one of those, off a 3rd place finish in the new London Classic Sale Series that we had on Camluck Classic night last Friday night. We had the 4 finals of that. And that was really well received this year, and really excited about unveiling that new series with the tie to the London Classic yearling sale. And here was one of the horses that competed in that, finishing 3rd, Twin B Bodacious, and the sibling Twin B Cabo, one of the horses we're going to get a look at here. There is.
We should focus on the Jamesons, right? Because the way they've been going this weekend.
Absolutely. Lexington horse, Tall Dark Stranger in the field. First full from Some Beach Somewhere dam, Lindy at the Beach.
Yeah, Lindy at the Beach, a 6-figure earner, and took a nice mark as a 2-year-old of 51, and then followed that up being clocked in 50-1 as that one moved along in its racing career. So I like when you see the mare was a winner at 2. That's something that stands out for sure, and we'll see what this one can do, as this is that first full from the Some Beach Somewhere mare, Lindy at the Beach, and a son of past NA Cup winner, Tall Dark Stranger.
8 good-looking Colton Gelding Pacers taking up their spots on the gate here for qualifier number 4. And Mark has your call next.
So a field of 8 here today in the 4th qualifier, and here is the field. 1 is Redland Rocket Man, and this is a son of Bulldog Hanover, a Harrisburg sale graduate, $30,000 US. Number 2, No Weightless, a Cattle Wash colt. This was a London Classic purchase, $41,000. Number 3, Twin B Cabo, a gelded son of Cattle Wash, out of the Harrisburg sale for $22,000 US. 4 is My Leading Man, a Lexington Select yearling sale graduate, $25,000 US, a son of Always a Virgin. Number 5 is Hangry Boy. This is a gelded son of Stay Hungry, Harrisburg grad, $35,000 US. 6 is Fly Bulldog Fly, a Lexington Select yearling sale purchase, $35,000 US. And that's son of Bulldog Hanover. 7 is Beachside Lindy, son of Tall Dark Stranger, graduate of the Lexington sale, $35,000 US. And Scorpion Sealster, a Bulldog Hanover colt, is number 8. This one out of the Lexington Selected yearling sale, a $95,000 US purchase. Here they come up for the 4th. Behind a bit at the beginning there, that was a 7 Beachside Lindy. The others are sent on their way as they're off and pacing here in the 4th qualifier. And going out to strike the early lead is Hangry Boy. From the outside, Fly Bulldog Fly moving up into 2nd. No Weightless is going to get away in 3rd. Twin B Cabo gets there 4th. It'll be Scorpion Sealster to settle in mid-pack 5th. That one's going to get in front of Redland Rocket Man. Then we go to My Leading Man, and Beachside Lindy will be the trailer, as that one will be close, though, to the nearest rival and can follow right along. They get into order here as they were by the opening marker in a time of 30-1. It's Hangry Boy. This is a son of Stay Hungry who leads it. They move to the backstretch. Fly Bulldog Fly is in second. Then in third, that is No Waitlist. Fourth is going to be Twin B Cabo. And then we got a little bit of a gap going back to Redland Rocket Man, as that one is being followed then by My Leading Man, going back to Beachside Lindy. And then at the back is going to be Scorpion Sealster as they come up to the midway point. So the leader as they near the half is Hangry Boy. And Hangry Boy still leads it here as they were by the midway point in a time of 101-3. Hangry Boy is the leader as they're on to the far turn. Fly Bulldog Fly is in second as they make their way around the far bend here. Then third, that's going to be No Waitlist. Then fourth, going on to the turn as they continue to follow along. Fly Bulldog Fly as they're coming to by 3/4. Hangry Boy is still leading it. They're tightening up front now, though, and out of the 2-hole comes Fly Bulldog Fly as that one will come by the leader right on that one's back. No Waitlist as they're coming to 3/4 in a time of 1:32-4, and they will spin for home. Fly Bulldog Fly has got the lead here. No Waitlist in second. Here coming up on the outside, Twin B Cabo, then back is Hangry Man. An eighth of a mile remains here, and Fly Bulldog Fly under pressure, trying to fend off No Waitlist. Outside is Twin B Cabo. No Waitlist and Twin B Cabo. These two are going to sort things out late, and it's going to be No Waitlist who takes it from Twin B Cabo. Third was Fly Bulldog Fly, then fourth was Hangry Boy. Going back to Beachside Lindy, recovered to get up for fifth, and Redland Rocket Man as we go back through the field. Scorpion Sealster and My Leading Man. The time was 1:59-3 for No Waitlist.
Well, that's a big last quarter, 26-4 mark on the end of it there for No Waitlist, as it's Sons of Cattle Wash finishing 1-2 in here. And this guy looking good at the end of the mile here. And again, this one a third full. And yeah, she said 2 for 2 in getting horses to the races, and there's another one here that's on track for the same fate. No Waitlist. Again, with that final quarter rally, Twin B Cabo finished up really well, made it close at the end. There's a look at that slow-mo shot coming to the wire, and the 6 Fly Bulldog Fly. I think that one, when they were asking for top speed, just got a little bit out of gear. Mm-hmm. And you know, I think Doug just had to be a little bit careful with him over the final 16th of a mile or so. So I'm sure Blake he'll work with that, and as the horse learns his speed, I'm sure we'll get things smoothened out, as they say. But again, there's a lot of promise. I think from what we saw in that group, that was an eye catcher.
Certainly was, and you got a few of them right there in the mix coming for home. How about Beachside Lindy, who had that green beginning and spotted them about 4 or 5 lengths at the start, and then that one ended up passing some rivals to get up there for fifth to round things out in that fourth qualifier. But Louis Waugh teams with No Waitlist, and Cattle Wash gets another winner here this morning.
Yeah, good morning at the office for him for sure. So there's a look at him coming back, and just a nice size colt, right? Again, you know, not too big, not too small, as they say, just kind of just right. Wears very little equipment, rigged pretty simply by the look of it there, and the type that you get the sense was probably a natural as soon as they started working with him.
I would think so, and that's kind of been, I think, like you said, they got to look to them, certainly, don't they, the Cattle Washes, and that's what we got to like to see from No Waitlist is Louis Waugh didn't have to go to the well, but they were sprinting home very strongly and just went about his business doing it there in that final quarter.
And this one owned by Tim Dickinson of Holland Center, Ontario. Bred by Princeton Farms, nearby Princeton Farms as well. Jesse Bloor, just saw him a few moments ago. He's on site this morning, so he'd be pretty excited to see that effort from this guy this morning as well. A London sale graduate as well, $41,000 from that sale. No Waitlist, getting it done. Twin B Cabo, as mentioned, another son of Cattle Wash in the field in here. And Scorpion Sealster, another one that made a bit of a miscue there in the early stages. You know, there'll be no panic. They'll go back and they'll try it again in another week or two, and they'll make some changes, I'm sure, and work with the horse. But it's all experience, and for some, it takes them maybe a little longer than others to learn the ropes and figure out what it's all about. So we are now coming up to qualifier number 6 next, or 5, I should say, when we return. And we'll be back on the trot as we continue to provide coverage here this morning of the Rookie Showcase
O'Brien
from Woodbine
Award
Mohawk
Breeder of
Park.
the Year, Tara Hills, is home to harness racing's most exciting young stallion. Green Manilishi's first crop has taken Ontario and the Grand Circuit by storm. It includes Peaceful Way winner Mona Lishi.
with an
World champion Cattle Wash has seen multiple New Jersey Sire Stake winners from his first crop, including final winning filly Reckless Abandon.
Reckless
His
Abandon
2024 yearlings are eligible to the Ontario Sire Stakes. Don't miss your chance to buy one of their sons or daughters this fall. For more, visit terrahills.com.
I'm awfully glad I won.
The Hamiltonian, it's one of the most prestigious races. It's quite a thrill. It's one of the biggest thrills of my life.
We delivered. The horse delivered. It was amazing. I can't believe it.
I am stunned. I'm absolutely stunned.
This is obviously the pinnacle.
It's just something that I can't explain.
This is just an absolute dream come true.
It feels good now, but I'm sure it's going to feel even better tomorrow.
For me to do it, this is my moment.
I might have got a little excited.
Trotters are stepping onto the track here as we return to coverage of the baby races this morning from Woodbine Mohawk Park. And it's a field of 7 scheduled to go postward in this one. Getting a look there, number 3, crunching the odds. One of 3 in this group that are graduates of the London Classic sale. This one, a Green Manalishi colt, a sibling to Warrawee Whisper, winner of $425,000. Warrawee Roo, who banked almost $900,000. And this guy, just a $37,000 purchase. So one of those that could ultimately be a bargain based on the pedigree potential that exists.
Certainly could be, right? And that's something that you look back after and go, how did they get it for that price? But if you're the connections, you've got to put a lot of time and effort in and hope that that you are getting a bit of a steal at the end of the day. There's certainly no guarantees. You mentioned about the London Classic yearling sale, and for those that maybe aren't completely familiar with the process, at this point now, entries would be closed, correct? And as we start to look ahead to later in the year.
Yeah, entries closed. We just posted the roster online there a few days ago. Going to be up around, I think it's 307 or 308 this year, which is a pretty big number. It's a 2-day sale, and when you're housing horses all under one roof on the venue, that's pretty much at max capacity for for the format. So it's exciting to see. I don't think there's any question. It's probably the strongest catalog that we've had, certainly since we took over operation of the sale. So excited about that, and I'm sure they'll see similar south of the border.
Yeah.
Of course, getting excited, and we'll see the rosters for some of the big sales there as well. So, and we've got some of the biggest breeding farms represented here locally as well. They'll have nice consignments at our sale, and they'll have a sprinkling of offerings south of the border as well. We talked about Scorpion Sealster last year. When you make day one at Lexington, that's quite a feather in your cap for sure.
It certainly is, and that sale, that certainly will stand out. But you got to have a little something for everybody, right? There's buyers of all ranges and of all size of wallets, and everybody can be looking, trying to find whatever they can get.
You're right, and if you're a breeder consigner, of course you want every horse to bring max dollars, but for the industry as a whole, it is nice when you get some of those bargains, and some smaller people can get involved and can potentially get a good horse. And, it's part of the story of standardbred racing, maybe a little even more so than the thoroughbred side. I think you see more of that on our side of the ledger. But, and then you've got the big hitters too, the big buyers in the industry that put a lot of money in as well. And you like to see them certainly have luck conversely. So it's just that fun time of year, and everybody starts right now with a sort of a clean slate. They're all on level footing at this stage of the game, and we've seen a mixed bag so far, I would say, from yesterday and today. You're seeing, some of those higher priced ones that you're expecting to see come out and be an instant hit, and then you're seeing some other ones that, maybe on paper we weren't focused on as much, but they've jumped up and looked really good.
Yeah, exactly, and I think it's funny because you'll probably spend more time sort of going on about the bargains that people were able to find, as it turns out, when you see one that didn't maybe bring that much and you go, wow, did they ever get a steal? But that being said, we do need those that buy the big price tickets in the game, and that's what kind of keeps the engine going at times. And you hope they have success too, because if you're not going to have success, what's going to keep people coming back? Winning keeps people coming back. Chasing winning maybe does that too, I guess, at the end of the day. But success across the board is kind of what you just hope to keep the whole cycle spinning, essentially.
We had Ozzie McKay on earlier. Of course, he's got ownership in a few that qualified yesterday and again this morning. He's got one in here, Secret Trader, $30,000 purchase out of the Lexington sale. First full, it's a Chapter 7, first full out of Trade Secret. And this Cadabra mare, a full sister to Forbidden Trade, Hambletonian winner, Forbidden Trade.
Yeah, and you talk about one of those local standouts that went on to win the Hambletonian, as mentioned, and had just an incredible career. Maybe wasn't necessarily the flashiest of horses, but just had such ability and came up in some pretty big moments over the course of his career for trainer Luke Blais.
Jody Jameson, there he is on board number 5 in the black, Green Manalishi. From a great trotting mare, Only the Cash, who made $850,000. Grand Circuit placed, obviously, for the late Bob McIntosh. This will be her second full. And this one owned by the Mardon Stables and Tyrone Valley Farm, along with Hudson Standardbred Incorporated. That's a pretty prominent ownership group there. They've had a lot of success in the game, and in the black is one of the youngsters that they're hoping for big things with here. Jody Jameson picks up the driving assignment. He's had a good morning, as Mark mentioned earlier, and we'll see if the good times roll for him. The starting gate is rolling as we speak, and once again, here's Mark with the call of Qualifier 5.
A field of 7, Qualifier 5. One is Beach Concert, a Green Manalishi colt. That one is a graduate of the Lexington Select sale at $16,000 US. 2 is Bo Knight. This one coming out of the London Classic, a $65,000 purchase, a son of Wheelin' and Dealin'. 3 is Crunching the Odds out of the London Classic as well, $37,000, son of Green Manalishi. 4 in the field is Secret Trader, a Lexington Select yearling sale grad, $30,000 US, a son of Chapter 7. 5 is In the Black, and this is a son of Green Manalishi. Number 6 is Wolfpack Crown, a son of Six Pack. And to round things out will be number 7, Simply Chaotic. This is a Trixton colt, a purchase from the London Classic. $19,000 was the price tag. So there you have it, a field of 7. This is qualifier number 5, as we have 6 in total here today. It'll be our final look at the trotters as the starting gate nears the top of the stretch. Gate into the lane, picking up speed. Here they come for the 5th. And they're off and trotting. It's Wolfpack Crown down the center of the track, who is stepping forward. To that one's left is In the Black. Away from the rail is Beach Concert. Getting away in 4th is Bo Knight, as Crunching the Odds will hold ground there in 5th. Secret Trader will duck in behind 6th, and Simply Chaotic can see them all from in 7th. But out to the early lead here for McClure, it is Wolfpack Crown, and that one is up top by 3 or so lengths coming to the opening panel. Beach Concert is in 2nd. Opening quarter was 32-1. It's Wolfpack Crown. 2nd is Beach Concert. Right behind that one, 3rd is In the Black. 4th then is Bo Knight. 5th into the backside is Crunching the Odds. Racing in 6th is Secret Trader, and 7th is Simply Chaotic. But all alone on the lead is a 6-pack colt, Wolfpack Crown, who leads it by 5 or 6 lengths as they trot through the 2nd quarter. So it continues to be Wolfpack Crown from Beach Concert in 2nd as they come up to the midway point. As racing in 3rd, that continues to be In the Black, then followed in 4th by Bo Knight. 5th, as they go by the half, is Crunching the Odds, and in 6th is Secret Trader, and 7th is still Simply Chaotic. 1:03.4 was the half-mile time. Wolfpack Crown has been all alone here through the first half of this contest, and with 5/8 of the mile now in the books, the lead is starting to narrow a bit. It's down to 2 lengths. Beach Concert's getting a bit closer there from in 2nd. 3rd continues to be In the Black. 4th along the rail is Bo Knight, followed in 5th by Crunching the Odds. odds. Then in 6 is Secret Trader, and 7th is Simply Chaotic. They're by 3/4 in 1:36 and 1. So now they come to the top of the stretch with the sprint on. Wolfpack Crown to the outside comes in the black, looking to overtake Beach Concert. Following is Bow Knight as that one flips off the back of in the black. Less than an eighth to go. Wolfpack Crown still leading it. Coming on the outside is Bow Knight into second. Inside third is in the black. From the rear of the field, Simply Chaotic finishing up well into fourth. It'll be Wolfpack Crown to take it. Tight for second. Looked like it was Bow Knight over in the black. And as mentioned, Simply Chaotic was there for fourth. 2:03 and 3. Wolfpack Crown wins qualifier number 5.
There's Wolfpack Crown off stride now, but well after the wire when that happened, and looked good right up to that point. 2, 3, and 3. I think we're going to guess that the 3/4 time was incorrect. 36 and 1.
What was the half there?
Half 103 and 4.
Yeah, I mean
that's reasonable. I think.
I guess that would be about a 32 and change third quarter. Maybe. I guess the final quarter though. What was that come home now? 27 and 3, possibly. But you had some coming from the back, so we'll double check that. Although we've seen a trotting race earlier today going 2:04, so I think the final time, like you said, is probably right on there. And at the end of the day. Really not a whole lot of ground actually really making up. I mentioned the 7, Simply Chaotic, was really the lone one that went by multiple rivals coming from the back of the field.
And Tyler Moore, another good result for him this morning on the training side. Bob McClure driving son of Six Pack. We've seen a couple of those over the last 2 days, and they've looked impressive. And this guy did his work on the front end today. A son of Sweetie Hearts. This is an Ontario Sire Stakes graduate. She made $400,000 in the provincial program, and a meeting here with Six Pack and Wolfpack Crown. I think looking very good here this morning. Good-looking individual. Bow Knight had good wheels on the end of it here. Wheeling and dealing colt. Reg Higgs of Strathroy, of course, of Logan Park fame. Bred the horse and retained ownership, and James McDonald, Blake McIntosh teaming up with this one. Good rally. Got right up in the photograph for second there with In the Black, who I thought also looked pretty good here. So top 3 looking impressive over that final quarter sprint for the Trotters in qualifier number 5. They're off the track now and getting set to go for the 6th qualifier of the morning. We'll be back on the pace with another scheduled field of 8 to wrap things up here on this Saturday morning, an entertaining Saturday morning from Woodbine Mohawk Park. You're watching the Rookie Showcase.
All sports dynasties share one thing.
Home run! Another world championship!
They dominate. Hanover Shoe Farms, the most successful breeder of Hambletonian champions, producing an impressive total of 11 winners, has dominated the race. Purchase Hanover yearlings at Harrisburg. Hanover Shoe Farms, a standard bred dynasty.
It doesn't get any better than that! Wow!
Winback Farm of Ontario is home to outstanding sires, including a 3-time millionaire pacer tattoo artist who is new in 2025, the last great son of the legendary Sub Beach Somewhere and multiple stakes champion Beach Glass, Meadowlands Pace and Ontario Sire Stakes champion Lawless Shadow, and the richest pacing stallion in all of harness racing history, the great Hall of Famer Mick Wicked. Also standing at Winback Farm, Archangel, Better Than Cheddar, Betting Line by MVP and Trixton. For more information, visit winbackfarm.com.
One more left to go on this Saturday morning. Was to be a field of 8 pacers. It scratched down to 7. Number 8, Rowdy Patrick, will not go. So we'll get a look at them stepping onto the track here, including number 1, Dr. Dave. Cattle Wash. We've had Cattle Wash winners already here this morning. Francis Dumichel trains this one. It was bred by David Goodrow Stable, thus the name Dr. Dave in this spot, out of the Art Major Mare Mystic Dance. Travis Henry will do the driving on that one. Je ne sais quoi, number 2 in the field. is another of the cattle washes that we're going to see in the group. And there's another one, Borderline Mobby, sent out by conditioner Dave Maneri, owned by Nick Malcolm of Milton, who also bred this colt out of the well-said mare Hot Gossip. And number 7 is Speak to the Baron, an Art Speak colt from the John Puntland stable, owned by Dan and Kim Sargent of Straffordville, Ontario. It's going to complete the field of 7 in here. Getting a look at 4 Walter's Nip making his way out. An all bets off colt out of the American Ideal mare Nibby W. Hanover. This is her first foal. She was a good mare, $250,000 winner. Frank Baker does the training of this one. It's going to be Tyler Borth on board, another London sale graduate in this spot. So a mixed bag again of pedigrees in here. You've even got another Courtly Choice here. First due truck work came out of the Goshen sale.
Yeah, there you go. Another sale that's represented here today. I think we've had horses out of Ohio, London, Lexington, Harrisburg, Goshen now. So, like you said, they can come from all parts, wherever you can find them. We'll see again if Cattle Wash can get another winner. That's something to keep an eye on. Looking at the 6 Borderline Mobby, that one brought $25,000 US at the Harrisburg sale. This is actually the family of Control the Moment if you go back under the 3rd dam. So you do a little bit of a deep dive and first foal from a well-said mare. And again, can Cattle Wash make it 3 here today?
Again, a big thank you before we wrap up today to all the sponsors for making this enhanced coverage possible here this morning. And there's a look at all of our different sponsors at the bottom of the screen here. Again, a big thank you to them. Primetime Showcase will continue over the next couple of weekends here as we expect numbers to swell. Next weekend, we'll probably have double the amount over 2 days that we had this weekend. It's been a lot of fun seeing the new faces emerging, though. And, you know, we're going to see Cattle Wash here well represented in this final one. We've been excited to see his first sort of full Ontario crop hit the racetrack this year. Safe to say we like what we have seen so far.
Yeah, 100%. I know we've kind of talked about it quite a bit over the last 2 days, but that's for good reason. They're getting some results here early on, and was one of those horses we were excited to see when moved in to Ontario to stand here. And again, I think we expected he'd make an impact this year. I know it's super early. We're just going off the first weekend of baby races, but all signs point towards what we were thinking maybe being exactly true. We'll see next weekend, too, as you talk about those numbers go up. You know, some other stallions that'll probably be a little more represented as well, but quite a few Cattle Washes here in this opening weekend.
And we've got a son of American Ideal. Just saw him a moment ago. Part of a busy morning for the Carl Jamieson stable. He's an American Ideal named Rough Deal from post number 5. Sibling has produced 3 winners of $150,000 or more. This one bred by Winback Farm, and Greg Hayter of Mitchell now owns this guy, who purchased for $17,000 US out of the Lexington sale last fall. A good-looking individual on the racetrack. And there's the Art Speak colt, Speak to the Baron. John Pentland in today from Dorchester with a few as well. And this one, a sibling to a bunch that have made the races. Ram Baron Star, daughter of Ram Baron. She's been a good producing mare as well. Made it here with Art Speak and trained down well from what we heard in that Tuesday training report, and appears ready to go this morning.
All right. Well, I mean, we can only go off of some of those videos over the course of the winter until we see them here today. But sometimes you can kind of pick up a little bit of optimism or some confidence when you listen to the trainers talk about their babies during those interviews. And they're a great piece of content that we're able to get in the lead up to these opening days of baby races.
There's another one for the Blake McIntosh barn. We've talked at length about how busy a weekend they're having.
French?
Hopefully,
do you know how to speak French?
A little bit.
Greg?
Yeah, I have a French background. Yeah, I do. My grandmother was French,
okay,
from the west end of PEI, Acadian.
Je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi. We'll let you take over that, though, in a moment. Here they are. It is qualifier number 6, our finale here this morning. Field of 7 pacers to wrap things up. And once again, here's Mark with the call, and as we look forward to his French pronunciation.
Oui. Number 1 is Dr. Dave. This is a gelded son, a Cattle Wash to kick things off. Number 2, Je ne sais quoi, a Cattle Wash colt. This one is a Yearling purchase coming out of the Harrisburg sale for $23,000 US. Number 3, First Due Truck Work, a Courtly Choice colt. This one is a grad of the Goshen yearling sale, $25,000 US. 4 is Walter's Nip, an all bets off colt, London Classic yearling buy for $25,000. 5 is Rough Deal, gelded son of American Ideal, Lexington Select purchase, $17,000 out of that sale. Number 6 is going to be Borderline Mobby. This is a Harrisburg grab for $25,000 US. And to cap things off, number 7 is Speak to the Baron. This is Art Speak colt, and this one a homebred. So scratch number 8, field of 7 lined up. This is our final qualifier today. The baby races continue this coming Thursday and Friday from Woodbine Mohawk Park. We'll get things underway at 9:30. Gates in motion. Here they come for the 6th. And they're off and pacing, and it's going to be a Rough Deal that we'll give the first call to. From the outside is Speak to the Baron, who will look for a spot as this field makes its way past the wire for the first time. Walters nips between rivals there, getting away in 3rd. Je ne sais quoi at the inside 4th. Dr. Dave got away in 5th. Borderline Mobby to line up 6th, and 7th is going to be First Due Truck Work as they hit the first turn. It's Rough Deal, the leader. Speak to the Baron on the outside, wide around the first bend. Then in 3rd, that's going to be Walter's Nip, and as they come by the opening quarter, 31 and 4 will be that clocking, but Rough Deal taken down into the safety lane there. So Rough Deal goes down into the safety lane, and that will leave Speak to the Baron as the leader, but not going to lead much longer. Here comes Je ne sais quoi with a rush, and Je ne sais quoi is going to move up to the lead. So Je ne sais quoi looking to clear here on Speak to the Baron. Then in 3rd is Walter's Nip. 4th as they're moving through this second quarter. As they come up to the midway point, that's going to be Dr. Dave, then followed in 5th by Borderline Mobby. On the outside is First Due Truck Work, and then the trailer again was that early leader Rough Deal, who straightens things out, moves back onto the track. 102 and 4 was the half-mile time, and up front here looking just to get away on them here as they're coming up towards this 5/8 marker is Je ne sais quoi. Je ne sais quoi leads it by 7 lengths. Speak to the Baron was in 2nd as they're coming to 3/4, and it's all Je ne sais quoi. This son of Cattle Wash has a big jump on them as they'll come by 3/4. They hit that marker in a time of 1:32 and 1. Dr. Dave on the outside has now moved up into 2nd. Speak to the Baron is back in 3rd. Then on the outside 4th is Borderline Mobby. 1/8 of a mile remains here. Je ne sais quoi leading it up top by a half dozen lengths. Dr. Dave is 2nd. Borderline Mobby on the outside is 3rd. Late speed from First Due Truck Work, who is trying to reel and Speak to the Baron for 4th. It'll be Je ne sais quoi to take the 6th qualifier. Wins this one by 6. Finishing in 2nd was Dr. Dave. Borderline Mobby on the outside was 3rd. The final time, 1:59 and 4 for Je ne sais quoi.
Another sharp final quarter sprint of 27 and 3 for Je ne sais quoi, getting it done here in the 6th and final. Doug McNair piloting this son of Cattle Wash. It's a 1-2-3 finish for that stallion in the finale today, with Dr. Dave rallying for 2nd, Borderline Mobby in 3rd. Another good look at the slow-mo shot. This is a great look at these youngsters, and get a nice gait, nice stride on Je ne sais quoi. Nice job on the call as well, Mark.
That's about the extent of my French, I would guess.
Well done. And yeah, it's a real good day. It's early. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but perhaps a new stallion like Cattle Wash making a little bit of a statement over the first 2 days of baby races, and a 1-2-3 finish to put an exclamation point on things here this morning. Yeah. 59 and 4 for Je ne sais quoi. The mare, Luck and Michelle, she was of course a great mare. Made almost $1 million on the racetrack. Her best performer so far, Talbot Creek Whiskey.
That's 3 winners today for Cattle Wash. There was 4 pacing events here this morning. The only other one went to that American Ideal son and Quick Away in our opener. So a nice showing here for Cattle Wash again. And like you said, wraps it off in style with that 1-2-3 finish. And there you go. That's how you have it in our 6th qualifier. And for Doug McNair, picks this one up. Obviously, Jody Jamieson ends up sticking there with his own horse, essentially, in that last qualifier, the 5 Rough Deal. And Doug was talking, obviously, before we got started today about the fact that he sat behind some babies, but this weekend the babies he was going with he had not before in any sort of training situation. So not a bad little start here with a couple of them that he was behind today.
Yeah, so many nice horses, nice performers that we saw over the first 2 days of action here today. The fillies yesterday, the colts today. Someone asked me after yesterday, was there one that you really liked? I said, no, I couldn't pick one. I said there were several. I just liked them overall as a group, and I would say the same thing about today. And the beauty is we're just scratching the surface. We'll be back here a week from now, and we'll be talking about a whole slate of new horses, and then some of the ones that we've watched this weekend are going to emerge, step up, and do something that turns our head next weekend as well. Fun time of year.
Absolutely. And I mean, I guess 156 is what we saw in that first one from Quick Away. That's a really good mile for the first weekend. There's some weekends you won't see something like that either. And I think that'll something I'll take away is how well that horse looked and just kind of doing that pretty effortlessly. But from both days, even looking yesterday at some of those fillies, I was impressed across the board, and a lot of them on their best behavior. I think we saw one there in the last, got a little green in the first turn, as mentioned, out on the lead in Rough Deal, but there wasn't a whole lot of that. Everybody very professional this weekend.
So our final look at the horses who competed here this morning. It's been a lot of fun bringing the action to you. We hope you have enjoyed it wherever you're tuning in worldwide on our various platforms. Welcoming you back to our trackside location here for the first weekend of the Rookie Showcase on Primetime Racing. Of course, this is a busy weekend with eliminations coming up tonight. More than were anticipated because of the cancellation last evening. I want to remind you that today at 4 o'clock, you're going to have eliminations for last evening's race program that were carried over. They are going to be wagering events, which is fantastic. They'll be at 4 o'clock. The Armbo Flight, 2 limbs, the Good Times, 2 limbs, and then, of course, tonight, the big program.
Absolutely. The North America Cup eliminations, 3 of them. You got to be top 3 to secure your ticket into next Saturday's $1 million final. 1 fourth place finisher will be drawn by lot. You don't want to find yourself in that, though. You'll have some anxious moments tonight before that draw. But looking forward to it. Makes for a bit of a longer day here today, but when we're talking about this quality of racing, the best in the sport, certainly it's worth the long hours, and looking forward to being back here in a little bit for this afternoon's races.
And tonight's going to set the stage for the Pepsi North America Cup program next weekend. If you can't make it to the track, we'll hope you tune in to Primetime Racing. We'll have coverage of Canada's biggest harness race next Saturday night, and it'll be available on Game Plus TV, our social media platforms, as well as Rogers Cable, post-race as well. Saturday, June the 14th, the show will start at 10 p.m. Myself and Mark will be by with you for that enhanced coverage, and we are excited about that next Saturday evening.
And a little bonus coverage will be up not just on Game Plus, but also online on the platform you're watching today at 9 p.m. It's being talked about. Some early coverage just to capture as much as we can from those major stakes finals next weekend. And then if you want to tune in on Game Plus from 10 to 11, that's where you'll be able to see the Pepsi North America Cup. And with my ear to the ground, I'm hearing likely the Fan Hanover right before that race as well, as we would get a good chance to see what should be a great showdown in that pacing filly division.
So if you're in the area, we certainly want you to come out to the track. You'll have an incredible evening here next Saturday night. Pepsi North America Cup night, one of the most power-packed programs you'll see anywhere in North America this year. But again, if you can't make it to the track, we hope you'll tune in to Primetime Racing. Hope you enjoyed the coverage today. Thank you so much for joining us. Going to let Mark take a nap and get ready for a busy night. And we'll see you next weekend here on the Rookie Showcase.